If I freeze, somebody should please let me know.
That's ironic. Can you just freeze?
I'm gonna switch.
And we lost you, Tziyaka, right when you said you froze.
I'm switching.
Oh.
Switching back to my phone. But I think it's not gonna work. All right, you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, so we left off yesterday with the Gemara. I mean, it's really the beginning of today's daf of was it of yosi min yikras. So he was a very tough father, right? So, right, he his daughter was too pretty, so he davened that she should die. That's nobody should get become nichshel from her. And her son, who made Hashem give off Paris, he also said he should have a shorter life. That is some tough parenting, right there. So they said,
Didn't the
because of
Bush
that,
have something like that?
what, with his own?
The Bush davened for the following 10 generations to be poor and ugly.
Right. All that, yeah. I know the Chavetz Chaim had about being poor. I don't know about the ugly. But yeah, it sure makes life a lot easier. That's for sure. Right?
I thought
Anyway.
you said it wasn't rich, just not poor.
That's what some say. That's what some say. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, that's the success. Success is an issue. No question about it. Anyways, okay, so let's see. So he was a tough parent. So Mamela, what was the name? Who was the Amor who didn't want to stay by him? Rabbi Yosi bar Avin. Rabbi Yosi bar Avin didn't want to learn by him anymore. He says if he's going to be so tough on his kids, he's for sure going to be tough on me. Right? Fine. Okay, so we're about I would say 15 lines down from the middle lines on Chavtal and Aleph. Right? So and we're still talking about Rabbi Yosi min yikras. So Havilahu Chamra, he had a chamor. Yeah, we see you have the place there?
I have it.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we're good.
Okay, so Havilahu Chamra, he had a chamor, a very frum, honest chamor. Could have agri like kol yoma, when you would rent it every day, lo urto have mashada lo agra agaba. And when you finish renting it, so what you do is you put the money on top of the back of the chamor, and then it would be it would bring back the money. And then it would bring it back to its owner. Right? And if it was too little or too much, then it wouldn't move. If it somehow, I would guess it was a miracle. It had to be a miracle, right? That it would, if it didn't have the exact change, it wouldn't move, it wouldn't budge. I don't know what it would do nowadays with credit cards. I don't know how that would work. If it could process a credit card payment, but exact change only, right? Yeah. So Yom Echad inshu zugu the sandal. Somebody left a pair of sandals on its back, and it didn't move until they took it off. And then it went home. It was mamash honest chamor. I have no idea what the connection is. I mean, it's just talking about stories about Rabbi Yosef ben Yikras. Oh, fine. Okay. Now we have another wild story about tzedakah. Eliezer ish Birsa can have a chazal gabi tzedakah. When gabi tzedakahs would see him, hakodashim, they would hide from him. Right? Now that's got to be a pretty big madrega if a gabi tzedakah is hiding from somebody. Why? The kohen to have a gabi yavlahu. Anything that he had, any money he had, he would give to tzedakah. I happen to know. I think there was some stories about a contemporary Rosh Hashiva who gives away all his money. His money is not safe with him. He just gives it all away. Anyway, so Yom Echad have a salik l'shukah l'mizvah nidunya l'barte. So one day he was going to buy something in a dunya, something for his daughter. I don't know exactly what the dunya is. It doesn't mean a nadin. That's for sure. It doesn't mean a what do you call it?
It was a truce. He was buying her a trousseau.
I thought it was a
Yeah, well, I'm
dowry.
saying-
No, it's not a dowry.
Right. So it's not. It's weird that it's called like that. Yeah, they teach it, I think, true. So, but it's weird that they call it that when it's really. I mean, it's interesting because in the dunya is the dowry, right?
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so Chazyu Gabbai Tzedakah, and the Gabbai Tzedakah saw him. Tashmini, they hid from him. But also Varad Basraya, he ran after the Gabbai Tzedakah. Amr lahu, Ashbasichu b'maya siksu. Please swear to us. No, I think that's what it means, right? What are you being Isaac in? Amr lay, the Yasim the Yasaima, I'm being Isaac and the Yasim the Yasaima. So Amr lahen, he said to them, Avaida, which is a lashon of shvor, Rashi says, like by the Avaida of the Beis Hamikdash, Shein kain on the Briti. The Yasim and Yasaima come before my daughter. Shaka called to have a haday, and they took everything. He took all the money he had, the Yavlu, and he gave it to them. Pashle chad zuzah, and all he had left was one zuz. So Zavan le chiti, what he did is he bought some grain, wheat, vasik shadi ba'achkava, and he went and he threw it into the storage house. Asay the visu came along his daughter, his wife. I'm sorry, Amrullah Labarzi said, the daughter, my ayas avuch. What did he bring home? Right, she sent the husband out to go shopping for clothing or whatever it was for the daughter. What did he bring home? Amrullah. So she told her mother, Koma da'isi ba'achkava shadise. Whatever he brought home, he put into the storage house. She came to open the door of the storage house. Chazas, akalba, demal yachiti, and she saw that the entire storage house was full of wheat. And it was even going out the door. It was mamash. It was overflowing. And she couldn't open the door because the wheat. There was so much wheat in there that she couldn't even open the door. So the daughter went to the Beis Medrash, and she said to him, come see what the one who loves you did. So Amrullah, he said to her, another lashon of the shua, they're hektish. It's not yours. You only get it like any other ani. So it's not yours, even though some sort of mace happened that his one wheat turned into a whole storage house. But he said that doesn't belong to us, which is very consistent with his opinion, right? Fine. So that's the story that he wouldn't even take. He did running after tzedakah. He wouldn't even take any tzedakah. Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya Gaza Tanisa. Rabbi Yehuda. Now we go through a whole list of gzeras of Taanis, and they weren't effective immediately. So Yehuda Nasiya Gaza Tanisa. He asked for rachmanis, and it didn't rain. Amar, he said, Kami Shmuel Haramasi Yehuda ben Gamliel. Look at the difference between Shmuel Haramasi, that's Shmuel the Navi, right, to Yehuda ben Gamliel. Right, that's referring to, he's the Einikel, right? Meaning, Oiloi Ladar Shekaim Niskan, and woe is to the generation that was put into this situation. Oiloi Lamisha Amasha, also B'Yom of Kach, and woe is to the person that it happened in his days that there could be such a drought, right? Even with all his davening and his fasting, so he became sad, and then the rain came. So basically, what this Gemara is saying is that sometimes you need to be humbled, and once you're humbled, then the Yeshua comes. But I think the Musa Svarim, I don't know, Musa Svarim or whatever, those type of Svarim say such type of things. Fine. The Bein Nasiya Gaza Tanisa. So the house of the Nasi that were Gaza Tanis, I knew the Rabbi Yochanan. They didn't let Rabbi Yochanan know about it. The Safra I do, but in the morning they told him. Some of the Rabbi Yochanan, we can't fast. We weren't makabel the Taanis, right? We saw in the first parak that you have to, in order to fast, you have to be makabel it. So Amalei, so he said, Anan Basrayu Gararina. We roll literally means we roll after everybody else, which means that since the whole tzibur was already makabel on the fast, so we also get it. Fine. The Beit Nesiya goes to Tanisa. The Beit Nesiya says in Taanis, but I also mentioned the rain didn't come. So Aishia, right, who was from the youngest of the Chevra, right, said, it said, this is talking about when the whole Klal Yisrael does a mistake, right? And meaning there was a wrong psak. Yeah, so if it was if to the eyes of the Eidah of Klal Yisrael was done by mistake, so mashal lakala, this is what does that mean? It's a mashal for a kala. Shehi b'beitzav, that she's in her father's house. Calls man as long as her eyes look good. You don't need to check the rest of her body. Meaning, if you look in her eyes, you can see if there's anything wrong with her. Right? If the eyes are healthy, the rest of the body is healthy. And now, truth is, if her eyes are weak, then you have to check out her body because maybe she's not healthy. Which is interesting because in Shabbos, right, we said the halacha is that if there's a machla of the eyes, then you're allowed to be machal Shabbos for that, right? Even if it doesn't seem to be life-threatening. So it seems like there's something about the eyes that causes people to that just shows that the rest of the body might be a problem.
So what about Leah's eyes?
Oh, so that it says it was only bad from crying, right? It didn't say that.
Okay.
It says that I think it says from crying, which I guess if you check into it, right? If you check into it, then you'll see. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so also Avdei. Then the Avodim came for Ramale Sujra B'Tzavare. They didn't like this because what did he say? He basically told them that you look at the head and you look at the eyes, and if the eyes are no good, then the rest of the body is no good. So he's saying like the Sanhedrin or the leaders, it wasn't Sanhedrin then, but the leaders of Klal Yisrael must be bad. They're the eyes, and if they're bad, that means Klal Yisrael is bad. So it must be something wrong with the leaders. So that was a chutzpah. So also Avdei came the Avodim of the Beit Nesiya, and they tied a scarf around his neck, and they would be mitzarim. It seems like back then there was something about taking a scarf and being mitzayir. There's more of a desire about it also, that you took a scarf and caused people tsar with it. Maybe that's where ties come from. Yeah, yeah. So fine. So amrulay, right? No, you only wear a tie when you tie down to something, correct? So that's maybe the tsar. Anyways, so amrulay b'nei Moshe, right? So the people from his town said to the Avodim Beit Nesiya, Shavke, leave him alone. So Anami Mitzar alone, because he also makes us Mitzar. You know, there's always that one guy who says, this is the way I understand. There's always a one guy who says it like it is, right? And he's not really worried about the social angle or anything like that. And he tells you straight. I think we have a lot of those on this stuff. I think we're zeicher to a lot of those on this stuff.
No,
anyways,
none of those are here.
I didn't say it's a bad thing. Anyway, so Kiva the Chazina, the Kol Milu, the Shem Shemayim, but meaning he used to always give us these bussers. But since we see that he's L'Shem Shemayim, so we don't tell him anything. We let him be. We let him talk. So you should also leave him. Fine. So Rebbe Gozer Tanisa. Now another story. Rebbe was Gozer Tanis and it didn't come. Nachas Kamei Ilfa. So Ilfa went down. Rashi says he went down to be the Chazan. Like we learned yesterday, and we learned many times before. So the Chazan was always davening from a lower place. Rebbe Ilfi, and some say it was Rebbe Ilfi. So Omar Mashav Ruach, he said the words Mashav Ruach, but Nosa Zika, and the wind blew. Barid Hakodashim, and the rain fell. Mitra, and the rain came. So Amalei, my Oivdech, what do you do? Amalei, Dayarna Bakusta Dechika. I live in a very poor city. The Lesbe Chamra, the Kiddush of Avdalta, they don't even have any money for Kiddush and Avdallah. So Terchana Vasina Chamra, the Kiddush of Avdallah, and I go and I get wine for Kiddush and Avdallah. Right? And then the Yotze the Chiyuv. Right? So therefore, he was doing such chesed. Since he did such chesed, so therefore he was zeicher for Hashem to listen to him. Right? That's what they say. The Kanoim, the Chavetz Chaim's kois for Kiddush was tiny. So everybody says, you see, it's a proof that the Chavetz Chaim held that you don't need to have a very large shir for Kiddush. right? But then the Machmirim say it's not true. The Machmirim say that no, the reason why the Chofetz Chaim had such a small shear because there was a shortage of wine in his town. So since it was such a shortage of wine, then he went with the small shear. But if it would be a lot of wine, then he would go with the larger shear. Okay, there's no way to prove it, but bottom line is his kais is very small. Fine. So Rav traveled to a town, and he was geyser a taanis, and the rain didn't come. So Shliach Tzibur went down to for the Amud. Again, like we said, he go down. And the wind blew. Now this it's interesting because this Shliach Tzibur doesn't have a name, right? Before it was Ilfa. Here, for some reason, the Gemara doesn't say who it was. So Amar Lei, my avdech, what do you do? Amar Lei, mikri dardiki, I read to children, meaning he's a teacher, right? He's a Rebbe. But I teach the children to read the poor just the way I treat the rich. Whoever can't pay me, I don't take anything from him. This li perid the kavri, and not only that, but I own perid the kavri means fish. I grow fish, right? And b'chol man de pasha, and any child who makes a mistake, right? So I'm shayched. I bribe him from these fish. I guess that was a thing to give out fish to the kids. And I arrange it for him. And I'm a fias him. How do you call it? I satisfy him. I make him happy until he comes to learn. Meaning he's bribing them to come learn. So you see again, we had this a few blot ago too. Seems like not charging for things is considered a major, meaning not necessarily making people to pay. Right? We had that with Abba, the bloodletter, who got the Shechina said hello to him every day. Right? That's because he didn't charge the poor people, and he didn't, he even gave away tzedakah. So it seems like it's a thing. It's a thing to do chesed for people, not necessarily charge them.
That's mamish the Maisa with the Chofetz Chaim.
Which Maisa?
The Trotsky's Malamed.
Oh yeah, what was it? He chased them away or something?
Label of Bronstein. He told the mother he can't teach him because he didn't have the root kopik to pay, and he became Trotsky, the guy.
Oh right.
The Chofetz Chaim met him and started screaming at him.
Wasn't the bloodletter something to do with tznius also?
Tznius,
yes,
but tznius. That's what he did. Yeah.
It was tznius, but the main thing was also, I don't know if that was the main thing, but one of the big things was also that he didn't charge. Yeah. If somebody couldn't afford it, then he didn't. It was the doctor. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. So what? So what's the difference, a doctor or a malamed?
It's the bloodletter, no.
Okay, I thought
they were both necessary. That's the bottom line. They were both necessary, right? Like, it's interesting thing. No, I have no problem with girls babysitting for money, right? But I know people complain there's a shortage of babysitters, right? So whatever happened to doing a chesed for a couple needs to go to a chasana, needs to go to what happened just doing a chesed, right? Since became a business, so then you can't find babysitters because if they don't want to make money. But it doesn't dawn like, hello. So you have a teenage daughter, maybe ask her to go do a chesed, a babysit by somebody, whether you make money, you don't make money. Again, I don't know if it's a mushal exactly, but saying it became
Yaakov, I wanted to do it. My wife said I would get in a lot of trouble, so I should not do it.
Your wife is a wise lady.
Yeah.
Rabba, you know what I mean? We're not looking for extra reading material in the New York Post. You know what I mean? Let's keep it easy.
No, I'm just saying, like, these chassadah became like either you're from a chesed organization, or you know what I mean? Like do a little chesed. It doesn't. Whatever.
He's referring to Masaskim more, but we'll talk about that offline.
Whatever. We have that. Yeah. No. I'm just saying everything is a chesed. Everything is a chesed.
Didn't the base Yaakov system teach it out of them? You have to do chesed a certain amount of hours.
Right.
Who wants to do chesed?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I have that with my daughter in tag like that too.
Yes.
Yeah, the girls' schools have that requirement.
What kind of training is that?
Listen, it's better than not. Maybe, I don't know. You're saying it's not better than nothing. I don't know.
They should charge for it?
My daughter would be happy with
No, they shouldn't enforce it. It's something you have to do. That's now who wants to do that kind of chesed?
You got to teach them to do chesed.
Sure, I hear that. No, I hear that. But I'm talking about more like, people think, oh, if I'm not getting paid, so then why am I doing it? I mean, like sometimes I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but my kids go before Pesach, they help the Davis Memorial and they have all these things. So they say we're gonna pay. I said, I don't understand. They're gonna give you $50, $100. You really want to take that money and sacrifice your next world? Is it really worth the $50? I said, I'll give it to you. I'll give you the $50 if you want. Right? But is it really worth it? That $50? I don't know if they take it or not. It's none of my business. But that's yeah. Anyways, obviously if the kids need it, they need it. We're not talking about that type of situation. Fine. Okay. Rab Nachman Gazer Tanisa, right? 4 lines up on the bottom. Rab Nachman Gazer Tanisa, he was Gazer on a Taanis, boy Rachmi v'lo yosi mitra. Right? So he had Rachmanis, but the rain didn't come. Amar Shaklula Nachman, take Nachman, Chavutam in Gudel Ha'ara, and throw him down from the wall onto the floor, like a Humpty Dumpty, meaning that was a marshal. Right? Which I think Humpty Dumpty is also a marshal. But right, you knock him off. He's not, obviously I'm not good enough for the position if I can make a fast and Hashem doesn't listen. So chalosh taite. But from this he had his chalosh tais, again the same case, and then the rain came. Meaning Hashem was just seeing for the person to like give up. And then that's it. And then once he gives up, then I don't know if it means giving up or it just means to say like, you know what, you want somebody to come to the realization like, hey, you're not everything. Okay,
this is
whatever
the
that
pasuk
means.
we've been saying for the last 8 days. When I made Sarkarasi, knock me all the way down, then Anani by Merchavka.
Very good. Oh, tied into the under the young. Very good, Gersh. Yeah, so fine. Rabba Gaza Tanisa. Rabba was Gaza first boy Rachni. Below Yosa Mitra, didn't rain. Amrulay. They said to him, Rabbi Yehuda, ki have a Gaza Tanisa Asa Mitra, but Rabbi Yehuda, when he made a Gezerah, then it rained. Amrullahu, Maya, what should I do? If it's because of the learning, which was better under Rabbi Yehuda, right? But he's meaning that, do you think that maybe the learning was better under Yehuda? We are better than them in learning. Okay, this story, I don't know exactly how to answer that according to our brains. He's saying, okay, maybe Rabbi Yehuda was better in learning. We're better than Rabbi Yehuda in learning. Why? Right, that's what it sounds like. I'm saying it can't be, but it's right, because in the years of Rabbi Yehuda.
Rabbi Yehuda is greater than Rabba. Rabba is being masking to that. But we have more Torah than him. All the Talmidim together we're more than him.
I don't know if you could fit that into the words exactly, but okay, that's a
But it
nice
changes.
Issue.
It's Anan. We are stronger.
Right. No, I'm saying you were saying he's all right. Maybe you want to say that's. I hear. Okay.
He was greater, so he was listened to by himself. But the kaich of the tzibur that we have should be bigger than him.
I hear. Okay, maybe. Okay, the tzibur. Okay, but he could have just said tzibur is bigger than one. But it must be he's referring to Rabbi Yehuda's yeshiva from Amud Beis. It's mashma like that. Either way, so he says, we're better than them. The B'Shei, the Rabbi Yehuda, in the years of Rabbi Yehuda, called Tanuyah, all the learning was B'Nezik and Hava. Sort of like nowadays, right? Right, all the yeshivas, they're learning Nezikin. Okay, nowadays they added Nashim to it. Hanan, Kamasnina B'Shisa Sidrim, we learned the entire Shas. Right? V'chiyava Mati Rabbi Yehuda B'Uktzin. And not only that, but when Rabbi Yehuda got to learn Uktzin, so Uktzin is the Masechta about so fruit becomes tameh, right? And the question is, do the stems that are attached to the fruit, is that considered another fruit or is it considered part of the fruit? A whole masechta on that, which is not an easy masechta. Not that I know from experience, I only know from referencing. Yeah. So Ha'isha, I'm from the Rabbi Yehuda. Until I did a daf, I'm from the Rabbi Yehuda school of thought with Nezikin, All right, but anyway, so Ha'isha.
Isn't Uktzin in Tyrus?
Yeah.
So Kol Yom B'Nezikin Hava, all the learning was in Nezikin. But when he got to Uktzin,
yeah.
how did he get to Uktzin in Nezikin?
He must have dabbled in it, I guess. No, I think he only stuck to Nezikin.
What do the words mean?
I understand, right? So I thought the majority is Nezikin, but sometimes I guess, right? So Isha shekeveshes yerek b'derva, a woman, what do you call it? Shekeveshes, pickles, a vegetable in a pot. Ba'amri law, and some say zaysim shekovshin b'tarfein, and some say it was a different case. It was olives that were pickled with their tarfein, with their leaves, so they're all tar, right? Okay, whatever that case is, Amri, and he would say, Havayas, we see we need the Havayas, means we need the learning. Gadol, Rashi says, we need the deep learning of a Rav and Shmuel, right? Because he said, it wasn't clear enough for me. And we learn, we have 13 different yeshivas, mesiftas, that learn uksin. Meaning he's saying he couldn't even understand uksin without Rav and Shmuel, and we have 13 yeshivas that learn uksin. And when Rabbi Yehuda would take off one of his shoes when he was davening for rain, he would take off one of his shoes, because to show that he was in pain. To make himself pain because of the tzara, Mitru would come the rain. And we cry out all day, and nobody listens to us. Right? So that's why. So that's if learning. So learning obviously can't be that's what's wrong with us, because we're better. If it's because of my avodah, meaning actions, if anybody sees anything negative with me, right? So then tell me, but what can the Dali Adar do? The Dairas are not the same. So therefore, the problem is with the Dar, not with the leaders. Okay, which is quite interesting, right? Because the previous Gemara we saw from that guy who gave Musar, he said the leaders is the issue. They got upset at him. And here he's saying it's not the leaders' issue, it's the Klau's issue. Okay. Fine, so that's that story. Yehuda, yeah. Now we're going to talk about how what do you call it? When it rained, when Rabbi Yehuda davened. Yehuda chazahanu beitrei. Rabbi Yehuda saw two people, Nabakapartzi berifta, that they were throwing bread to each other. Rashi said they were playing ball with bread. Amar shmamina ika sava ba'alma. There's a satisfaction in the world, meaning if they're already playing ball with bread, must be that you're allowed to. There's too much food, right? Which they say no throwing bread, right? That's a big thing. So Yov Ene, and he looked at his eyes and have a kafna, and then there was, because he put his eyes on everybody, it was a drought or a famine. So yeah. So they said to Rav Kahana, right, the son of Rav Nechuni Mar, the Shchiach Kamei, right? You who constantly go in front of you, the Nease, the Lepuk, the Pischa, the son of Lashuka. Let him go in the door of the Shuk, right? Meaning, again, he's saying he's obviously not aware of Yehuda that he brought such a famine. He said the statement, he said there should be a famine, and a famine came. Right? Now, what, he wasn't aware was going on? So they said, bring him to the Shuk so he becomes aware. So Asya, they did it. They brought him to the Shuk. He saw people gathered. He said to them, what is this? Why is everybody gathering? We're waiting here for a box of dates so that they should be sold, right? Because they're going to sell it here. We're all desperate. So we heard that they're going to be bringing one now. So we're all waiting here to buy it. So Omar, he said, must be that there's a shortage of food. So he told the Shamash, take off my shoes. So they took off one shoe, but also Midran, the rain came. When he came to take off another shoe, Eliyahu came and said to him, Hashem said, if you're going to take off another shoe, he's going to destroy the world. Right? Meaning, if he's going to take off the other shoe, then it's going to be so bad. There's going to be so much rain, the world's going to get destroyed. So how can that be with the after Noach? I don't know exactly, but that's a story with that. So it's interesting that he was going to take off his shoes, to fast. And once he took off one shoe, then it was going to be a problem. If meaning he was taking off one shoe for tsar, right? And if the rain wouldn't start coming, then he would take off both shoes, right? It's just interesting that each shoe has its own pain, it seems, right? Which I forgot who's the one that says.
Shaka, maybe this is because they wore those sandals where they were all wrapped up all the way the whole leg. They were very painful.
No, but he was taking it off, so he should have pain.
Oh, he had more pain when he took it off. Okay.
Meaning he was like, we take off shoes on Tisha B'Av, right, to have pain. So he was doing the same thing, which just reminds me, I forgot which gadol, who said it, that normally when you take off your shoes, right, you put on your shoes, just to put on the right and then the left. When you take it off, you're supposed to do the left and then the right. So he said, when you're taking off your shoes, I think it was Shlomo Zalman maybe. Shlomo Zalman, I think so. When you're taking off your shoes for Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur, the mitzvah is to take off the shoes. So he says you should take off the right shoe first and then the left, because there's an actual mitzvah of taking them off, which you always do the right before the left. Right? So, okay, whatever it is. So Amar Ramari bra de Bashmuel, Ramari, the son, bra de Bashmuel, the son of the daughter of Shmuel, I know have a kimna good than our papa. I was standing on the river Papa, the Papa River. He was standing on the side of it. And I saw the Malachi. I saw Malachi Didmu Lamalchi that looked like Malchi is it's a play on words, right? A Malach is an angel. Malchi is a sailor. The Kamaisi Chala, they were bringing sand, Umalinu Larbi, and they were filling up the boat with it. Bavakimcha Desmida. And when they filled up the boat, it became into flour. The sand turned into flour. Also, everybody came to buy it. This is after Rabbi Yehuda decided that there should be no more famine. Don't buy from this, right? Yeah. So the Maisa Nisim, it's a Maisa Nisim, like we saw in Amud Aleph. The Machar Asi and Arbi Dechiti to Parzina. Then they brought the next day a whole boat full of wheat came from Parzina. So and then they were able to have regular standard wheat, even though l'chayr that was also a nace. That probably was also a nace. At least it just wasn't an obvious nace of sand turning into wheat. Fine. So Rava iklu la grania. Rava went to travel to Grania. Goes to Tanisa. He's made a taanis. Didn't rain. Amalu beisai kuliyama. I'm sorry, bisu kuliyama b'tanisaichu. Go through the whole night with your taanis, meaning. Normally you fast, you ended at shki or tzeis, right? You ended at tzeis. He's saying, no, continue fasting the next night. The next day, by shul, he said to everybody, if anybody's had a dream, they should say it. So I was called in my dream, right? Shalom tav, the Rav tav, my Reuben tav. Meaning somebody called me, it says shalom to the good person, or good greetings. The Rav Tav to a Rav who's good. Meribon Tav from a good a master. Yeah. Demituvye Meitiv La'ame, who's gonna from a Rav who's gonna do good for his nation. So Rava said, Shmami, no, Eis Ratzin hi mi boy Rachmi. So it's a Eis Ratzin, and now let's daven. Boy, Rachmi v'asimitru, so came Rachamim, and then the rain came. Right, so I guess I don't know what shot in this mice exactly. But he wanted everybody to have a dream, or somebody to have a dream, and then that dream was a good simon, and then he knew it was an Eis Ratzin. And I'm assuming the dream was pshat. There's no chiddush if you eat. There's no chiddush that you have dreams. Eating causes dreams. Here he told everybody to fast. He told everybody to fast that night, and then there would be a dream. Fine. So there was a person who was chayav malchus in the beis din of Rabba Mishum the ball pusis. He slept with a guy, right? Which we know there's no punishment for that. I mean, you kill him if you see them doing the ma'isa, you kill him. But here they were going to give him malchus. So Nogde Rava missed. Rava hit him, and he died. Shvor Malka. Then they heard about this by shvor Malka, right? That he killed somebody. So they wanted to be mitzvah Rava because he did it. So Amrlei Ifra. So Ifra Hormiz Ime the shvor Malka the bra. So she said, right? Rashi says that was her name. Ifra Chain, right? Yeah. So and she had the beauty of shadim. Rashi says, She had, I don't know what that means, but whatever it was. She said to her son, don't start off with the Yidden. Whatever they ask from their mara, from their master, he gives it to them. Right? What do you mean by that? When they ask for Rahmanas, the rain comes. No, that's because it's the time for rain, so then that's where they get it. Ella, let's see if they ask for rain during the summer season when it's not supposed to rain, and then see what happens. And then let's see if it rains. So Rava, right? So the mother, who obviously was trying to save Rava, sent to Rava and said, be mechaven your das and ask for rain in the summer. But he asked and he didn't get rain. He said to Hashem, we've heard with our ears, and our fathers told us that you did all sorts of work in the old days of miracles, right? But we haven't seen any nisim with our own eyes. So also mitra, rain, so much rain came out. The shvor marzavi, the tzvari, the digos, that the digos is what which river is again? The Tigris, right?
The Tigris River, Tigris.
Right, the Euphrates. Tigris. So the Marzavi, right? So Marzavi, it all ran in. I mean, it rained so much, everything flooded into the river. Fine. So it's also Rabba's father came to him in a dream. He said to him, are you gonna, like we had yesterday's daf, or actually on Aleph, are you gonna be my triach Hashem so much to make it rain? Amarle, he told his father in the dream, he said, Shani duchtech. I'm sorry, his father told him, change your place. Shani duchtech, so he changed his place. The Marashim Puri Vasakini, and he looked at his bed, and his bed had all these like what's the word for it?
They said demon marks. Demon marks.
Yeah,
knives.
Yeah, but meaning there's a word with the knife. What do? You slit it. It
was slit with knives, it says, yeah.
Yeah. So meaning they were after him. Had he not moved his place, then he would have been dead. He would have been died from the shade.
Literally.
Yeah, maybe Taka. Yeah. But what I don't understand is they couldn't go after. They weren't smart enough to know that he moved. I guess maybe he was in a different place. If it was a different place, it's a different place.
It's pre-WhatsApp.
Rapapa Gaza Tanisa. Rapapa was Gaza a fast. Loyasa Mitra, and it didn't rain. Chalash Libe, he became weak. Sarah Pincha the Daisa, and he ate a mouthful or a spoonful of Daisa. Daisa was like the cereal back then, right? Uboy Rachmi. And he asked for Rachmanas v'lo Mitra, and it didn't rain. Amalei Rav Nachman bar Ushpizasti, right? Rav Nachman bar Ushpizasti said to him, Isarif mar pincha achriti, the daisa asi mitra. Maybe if you're going to eat some more of this cereal, then maybe the rain will come, right? So, in which Rashi says, really, he had to eat something because he couldn't fast so long, but still he was being made fun of by Rav Nachman because he says, you're eating, you're davening that it should rain, and then you're going to eat. So Ichsif, he got embarrassed, and he was Chalisha Zadas, like we've been saying, and then the mother came. So again, the embarrassment, Chalisha Zadas helped him, right? We said it a bunch of times in Rosh Hashanah said being embarrassed is the best kapara. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything physical. It doesn't cost anything monetary. It's just busha, which is not fun, but it's a good kapara. That's what Rav Shlomo used to always say. Rav Chanina ben Dais was traveling. Also, Mitra, the rain came. The whole world is happy because it's raining. Chanina is in tsar. Why? Because he's traveling. So the roads are very hard to travel when it rains. So Pasak Mitra, the rain stopped for his sake. When he got home, now everybody's in tsar because it's not raining. But I'm happy because it didn't rain on me while I traveled. So then also Mitra, then it rained, right? Talk about making your own weather forecast, right? That's what he did. Yes, Amar of Yosef, Maya Hanyale.
Mamish Bishvili Nivra Island over here.
Yeah, but I guess, but he davened that it should rain again. He should daven that it should rain again, right? So Amar of Yosef, Maya Hanyale, it's loisi the kohen gadol lagaber of Chanina ben Daisa. So what is the kohen gadol when he left the kodesh hakodashim davened that we're going to see that he davened that Hashem shouldn't listen to the tefilos of the people traveling who don't want it to rain. Meaning he should listen to the people who are not traveling over the people who are traveling. So here he listened to the Tanan, how you mispal tefilah ketzar b'eschitzim. The kohen gadol would daven a short tefilah and outside the kodesh hakodashim. My matzli, what did he daven? Yehuda. They both said in the name of Yehuda. It should be rainy, and shchuna means it should be hot, which is exactly the way it was today, for me at least. Yeah, shchuna ma'al yasehi, right? Is a shchuna ma'ila? Adara b'griyosu. Hot is very bad. So ella im shchuna, what it means is im shchuna. If it's very hot, tehig shuma utlula, it should have geshem, rain, and tal and dew. Yeah. Then the kohen gadol says, "Va'al yikanas u'fenecha tefilos avidrachim," and the travelers' tefilos shouldn't come in front of you, right? Fine. And then Ravacha b'rei the Rav Messiah Mishmei the Yehuda. He said in the name of Yehuda that the kohen gadol tefilos ended off with Loi Yaadi Ovid Shultan mid the Beis Yehuda. And somebody who's powerful, meaning from the goyim, shouldn't go over the Beis Yehuda. And Klal Yisrael shouldn't need to get parnasa from each other, and not from any other nation. So I don't know exactly who they're supposed to get parnasa from. He's making a bracha that they shouldn't need parnasa from each other, and not from anybody else. Right? So I guess lispanis means more tzedakah than it means business. That's what you have to say. No.
So it meant that we should be zeicher to see that it's directly from Hashem.
That's what you think it means?
Even though it comes through someone else, it is directly from Hashem.
I hear. Okay, but that's not, the Pasha reading is that they're not going to do business from each other, with each other. Yeah, anyways, okay, we'll stop over here. Appreciate the Olam tuning in a little early. And I wish you well. And
safe flight.
Safe trip.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Jacob, it's very hard to understand the Pashup Shah of these Gemaras, by the way.
Impossible. It's impossible. I would say over Vertlach, but it doesn't do it. I'm saying what? So I say here a Vart from this, or what is it going to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's my own personal thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Like it's the Pashup Shah we're never going to get.
Right. No, Pashup Shah is very hard to understand.
Yeah.
It's against all the chinuch that we know.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
very good.
All right.
I think the Hadamah that you gave 2 days ago is what counts.
The what?
The gadol, they're on the level of Malachi Asharis compared to us.
I guess so. So.
They were fallible.
Yeah.
It's even further than that, Gershon Mamash,
Yeah, we have no musik of what they were. The Gemara wants to tell us they were still teaching us that they're human beings. Not that we can say they're human beings, but they said they're human beings.
I hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Jacob, what time are you taking off?